Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome along to the Royal Link Up podcast. I am your host, the amazing Sniper Beef. We're back again, and we have a new special guest who's come back from the depths of despair. He was born in the year 4300 BC. He is Vedak, and he's wearing his Stormtrooper outfit today, as he always is. Um, how are we today, Vedak?
I'm all good. Hello there, everybody.
Devastate, how are you?
I am very good, thank you, Beef. And ultimately, we're recording this just after you've been live on TikTok, and so has the Royal Link been live on TikTok for the first time in a long time. So I had a thoroughly enjoyable chat with the community. So if you weren't involved in that, be sure to follow us on all of our channels, but especially TikTok, because we're going to be going live there a bit more on the run up to the link up.
Indeed, indeed. Mass, how are you?
I'm very well with 44 days to go till
Yeah,
the
44 days to go. Make sure you are
27th
all Make sure you're all tuning
annual
in to
Roller
all
Cup.
of our content on a regular basis because we are doing a daily countdown now with an array of different content every day on the all of our channels. So make sure you are subbed and make sure you're liking and following everything that we're doing. We would really appreciate it. So let's jump
Just
into
as a
this week's
caveat, it's 44 days as of recording this on the
as of
22nd of
recording
May.
this. Indeed, indeed. So yeah, 44 days from the 22nd of May, 5th of July. That's when it all kicks off. That's when it all kicks off. But let's get into this week's podcast. So this week we're going to talk about some games that Vedak has been playing. We're going to talk about a new GPU from AMD. We're going to talk a little bit about PlayStation. One of the games that we've got or mentioned already on the Link Up podcast, which is Neighbour Suburban Warfare. And then we'll round off this week with Mass's Game of the Week, which has been recommended by a viewer. Which is very, very good. But let's kick off with Vedak, given he's back in the foray. He has been playing quite a lot of Windward Horizon, which is obviously Windward is a game that we played quite extensively at the Link Ups in previous years.
Yeah,
Talk to
long
us
time
about
ago.
Horizon. What's that looking like?
To be honest, I think the demo has bored me out already. It's all right. I think it's lost some of the sparkle from the original, but I think the thing that's got me is the when you're doing a mission, you're going from A to B, and it just if the wind's not with you, it's just so boring. You're like, oh my god.
It does
Yeah,
take.
Clever
so
pun there.
it's just like it's just like a sailing simulator,
It,
and there's no wind.
but it does look very pretty, though, doesn't
It
it?
does look very pretty, and I may well get the game in the future. I'll just see how it goes, but from playing the demo for I think I've done 20 odd hours. It's I won't be putting my money into the main game, not yet anyway. Maybe in the future.
I
What
suppose
would
that's
you
the thing.
give it out of 10? What's your star rating? What's your review? What's your rating?
I think probably 4.
Does the demo actually have does it have a large
Yeah,
amount of the content? Because
yeah,
one
it
of the
does.
nice
You
touches.
can't go from you only can have like a limited amount of money. I think it's like 100,000 gold pieces, which would then stops you from going up to the next ship. I think so.
The yeah, it did because it was quite nice though. If you did actually have the demo, you could transfer your
Yeah, that's
progress
good. Yeah,
to the game itself, which was released today, wasn't it? I think. No,
yeah.
When
forget.
was it released?
I think it
Today.
was today,
Oh,
22nd.
today.
Yeah,
Well, breaking news on the podcast
yeah,
that we were all completely unaware about. Well, I certainly, me and Devastate certainly were. But no, I think
I
like Windward back in the day, we played a lot of that at the Link Up. I think it was a very good game, and
yeah,
Dustle particularly enjoyed that a lot, didn't he?
yeah.
And also played it outside of the Link. And yeah, we obviously played the demo. Did we play the demo at last year's Link?
Well, no, we played like a pre-alpha build. Yeah,
Yeah.
That was
last
it.
year,
Yeah,
last link. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The,
And
the demo only came up like a week ago or a week and a bit ago.
Okay, right. Yes, we played the demo. Yeah, and then not the demo, the pre-alpha. I thought it was pretty good, but yeah, it did look really pretty. Did look very really pretty. So
£15 and 7 pence for
Yeah,
Windward
it's not
Horizon.
bad.
not bad
I
at
have
all.
been
I
playing
think June Awakening is going to be a bit more than that.
A little bit more expensive, just a
So
tad.
yeah, the base because you can buy an early access, can't you?
Oh, we love an early access game
We
on
said I think we've given the prices on the podcast before, haven't we? When I think we
Yeah.
discussed it. There's a couple of versions that you can get, but I think the
Talking of
base.
early access, Vedic, was the early access that you got for Civilization 7 worth the extra money?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely,
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I took the week off, didn't I, before it, and played loads of it. And I know people were disappointed with the release, but I wasn't. I thought it was great. I could see there were flaws, and I definitely have seen those being corrected over the patches that have been. But I think there was a big patch, but I haven't played it since the big patch. To be honest, I'm waiting for the link up.
You don't want to be all sieved out for the link.
I've been playing a load of this little tower defense game called Tower Dominion. Absolutely bloody! It's so much fun. Absolutely brilliant.
I mean, that's a good segue. So talk to us about Tower Dominion. So what's the price? What's it cost?
It's probably not more than a tenner. I don't think. Maybe just over £10.
Is it on Steam? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Steam. Tower Dominion. It's like a tower defense game, and you're surviving wave after wave after wave, and you unlock buildings which come to you as like cards, and you get a random selection each time, and you pick which ones you want to add to that turn's build, and even if you don't use them on that turn, they still stay in your your thing for the next turn, because you only get a limited amount of money, but you also put a new territory down each turn, or not each turn, every few turns. You're put a new territory, so you control the map on how it's built. And yeah, it's really good. There's a lot to it, and there's loads of unlocks through the game, and it's with 30 odd different generals and loads of buildings. So it's got a bit of depth. I enjoyed it. It's good.
It's the game that I've been advertised on when I watch YouTube. I've been advertised that game loads, and I've just realised what it is. But yeah, $14.99 on Steam. Tower Dominion.
I think I'm about 8 or 9 hours in already. It's brilliant.
And is it single player or is it multiplayer?
It is. Yeah, I wish it was multiplayer, but it's only single.
We've got one for the link up there, haven't we? In terms of multiplayer, is it LDT? Is it the game?
No, we've been playing Elemental. Elemental TD.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of them. I think that's probably one of the better multiplayer tower defense games.
Well, they've had a resurgence, haven't they? The tower defense games. It feels like there's a lot of them coming out.
Yeah, Dungeons Defenders was really good. There was a it's that Orcs game, wasn't it? Orcs Must Die, Death Trap.
Yeah,
that was a few of us, Rage and Mooney were all playing that. That was good.
I mean, yeah, Element TD2. I'm just looking at it on Steam. It reminds me I can't remember what that game was called. We played one after we started playing League of Legends, and it reminds me a little bit of that as well, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But anyway, moving on. Devastate. AMD have launched the 9060 XT GPU. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I did the live stream a couple of months ago when AMD were announcing their 9070 and 9070 XT. I said at the time it looked incredibly good, but we're waiting to see what the review said. We did a podcast episode on them, and they were incredible value for money, especially during the time where the NVIDIA 5070 had disappointed the crowds, and this looked like the better pick, the 9070 XT. But this week they've announced the 9060, which is the lowest spec. So I'll give you sort of the main numbers. So available in a 8 or 16 gigabyte variant. It's got compared to the 9070 XT, it's got about half the cores, slightly higher boost clock. It's got say 8 or 16 gigabytes GDR6 memory. 6 is important, not 6X. Is slightly lower, 128-bit on the memory bus, but the wattage is very low, so 150 watts or 182 watts, which is fantastic. Price ranges, we're looking at 300 for the 8 gig, 350 for the 16 gig. Now, it's a very attractive price point by the numbers, comparing now AMD got a bit sneaky, shall I say, with the stats that they put on screen, and they were comparing it to a 5060 Ti. However, they were comparing the 16 gig version to the 8 gig version of 5060 Ti. But by all accounts, it blows it out of the water. The MSRP for the 5060 Ti is 379, so 349. So it's a cheaper card for the 16 gig, and it beats it hands down. And it's basically essentially between 6 and 30% better in games across the board. Now, obviously, that a lot of that's down to the RAM, and it depends if you're playing it at 1440p. 8 gigs is not enough to play anything above 1080p really now, especially if you've got any form of ray tracing that needs to happen on the card. But I think this is it looks like a good budget card. In my opinion, the 9070 is a waste of time, and I would say you either got to go for the 9070 XT or you go 9060 XT. You either go in budget at $349 or premium at $599. But good card from AMD, and sort of recently I've been looking at the new Intel graphics cards, and I think this time next year we could have some really good competitive Intel graphics cards.
Just in time for GTA 6.
Yeah, I mean, let's not be under any realization. Let's not be under any illusion here. If you want to play GTA 6, you're going to have to fork out for a good graphics card. I don't think the Intel ones will be good enough to play that game. Maybe, but I don't think they will be.
I think the contrary. I think the opposite. Like, you think how big Intel are. I mean, when I worked at Intel, I saw the roadmap for their CPUs at the time, and I was astounded. And this was 15 years ago. So I dread to think about what it is like now, and it wouldn't. I suppose to me it wouldn't make sense. Why would they not go for the premium? Well, I think they would cover the whole
because
market.
I don't think they will do. I think they know where they sit, and that's where the biggest gap exists. So, right top of the range, you've got Nvidia. You've now got where the majority of gamers sit, which is this middle of the road market, and that's where AMD are blowing Nvidia out of the water for price to performance. But then you've got this subset of like these £300 graphics cards. And I think, because if you go any lower than that at the moment, it's basically e-waste. They're just absolute crap. So if Intel can really dominate that $150 to $300 graphics card range, I think that's a sweet, because they have no competition in that space. And I think they'll steal a march. And because graphics card prices have gone through the absolute roof over time, like the fact that we're looking at it and going, I'm looking at a 9070 XT at $600 and going, that feels like a bargain, feels almost insane.
Criminal.
So the fact that that
budget card at 380 seems a bit like budget 380, you know.
Yeah,
that's not a budget for some people.
Yeah, so it is. I mean, the brand new component sector is like so unachievable for people. Like, it is £1,000 to build a budget gaming PC now. That is wild.
I'm looking at building one for the kids, and literally I just want a 1080p one, and I'm like, it's going to be like minimum 600 quid, like just for the tower itself. And I need a monitor, all the peripherals as well.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, I've got to get one because I can't be dealing with them playing on this one, on mine, and then shouting across the entire house at it. So, yeah, it's I think just times have changed, haven't they, in terms of prices from back in the day, isn't it? But
no, overall, if you're considering a 5060 Ti, I would go with the 9060 from AMD, 9060 XT from AMD, but make sure it is the 16 gig variation. Don't go for the 8 gig. Spend the extra 50, save up for another month, another 2 months if you have to, and get that one, because you'll regret it
It's gonna
in
be worth it.
terms. Yeah, you'll regret it. You'll be so limited by the 8 gigs that the 16 gig will be the no-brainer, and for future-proofing yourself as well.
Yeah, exactly. I've just remembered a very important point from last week's podcast. We've got to remember to all smile. So make sure we're all smiling today. Mace, when you see those teeth, come on, let's have a smile. There we go. Right, couple more things to talk through. So, in April, this is just a very, very quick one, but in April, half of the top 10 best-selling PlayStation games during April were from Microsoft first-party studios, which I think is mind-blowing, but also a sign of the times that Microsoft are moving more of their stuff cross-platform to their biggest competitor because they've seen the light. But I mean, that was a very big eye opener for me. And then, secondly, a game that we've talked about on the podcast before, one that I'm fairly confident. No, actually, it's going to be played at the link up. Is Neighbours Suburban Warfare. Is actually on deal until the 27th, which is next week. 27th of May. It's on deal, so it's down from £9 to £7.19, 20% off. So I would highly recommend going and buying that. We will be playing it at the link up. I
Steam,
think,
is it?
yeah, I think this is one that Vedak is going to have an absolute field day with, and we're going to have a field day tantalizing his house on Neighbours Suburban Warfare. So make sure you go and get that. And then rounding off this week's podcast, we're going to talk about Mass's Game of the Week. So this is where we talk about a game which is recommended by either you, the viewers, or someone that we know as a game that we could potentially play at the link up. So Mass, I'll take it over to you and talk to us through the game which has been recommended by a viewer.
It has indeed. So the game is a Biotic Factor on Steam. It's from the developer of Deepfield Games and the publisher is PlayStack. A Biotic Factor is in early access at the moment. It's $29.99. A Biotic Factor is a survival crafting experience for 1 to 6 players set in the depths of the underground research facility. Caught between paranormal containment failure, a military crusade, and chaos from a dozen realms, the world's greatest minds must survive against the universe's biggest threats. Its reviews at the moment, there's quite a lot of reviews, and it's standing at the moment overwhelmingly positive. Obviously, there's a limitation to how many people we can have on the game, but I think that there's still it's a first person sort of with a survival open world crafting experience. So
it looks very pretty. I mean, I'm gonna say it, but £30 for an early access game seems extraordinarily priced, given it's not even launched yet. I mean, think when we bought golf with your friends, not my friends, it's your friends, and that was in early access. What did we pay for that? 15? I want to say 15 back in the day.
Even less than that, perhaps. So.
But £30 for an early access game seems rather steep. I mean, it does look very, very nice.
It will be a hard sell, but we will have a Steam sale. Just a matter of day. Well, it will go on during to the link, but it will start just before the link as well this year. So.
I mean, it reminds me a little bit of the Vedak. You'll be able to help me on this one. In Ark, what was the underground world called beginning with A? You know what I'm talking about there, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
The
Aberration.
Aberration. It reminds me of Aberration in Ark in terms of what it looks like. Like very, very pretty. Like very pretty. But yeah, overwhelmingly hugely positive reviews. 23,000 reviews.
What's it called again?
A Biotic Factor.
Abiotic Factor. Factor. So ABIOTIC.
But I've had this game on my wish list for a long time, Now, DL Compare has the game at 12 quid.
That's the sort of price we're looking for.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. There we go then.
So, I mean, we've mentioned this before in the past. It might be like a couple of us buy it, give it a play on Steam. If it's rubbish, we just refund it. Or you then refund it and then buy it again on DL Compare.
And that's one of the beauties of gaming from a LAN perspective in 2025 is that we can go and try a game like that out, play it for an hour, right, it's a winner, refund, go and buy it on DL Compare for less than half the price, and it's an absolute win. Whereas back in the day, 25 years ago when we were doing the link up, you had a CD, and if we couldn't crack the CD or we couldn't get a no CD crack, we had to pass it around the room. And if there's 12 of us in a room, and how long it would take to then install a game on 12 machines, which have got I mean, this has got more power than most of the machines that we had back then. Yeah. But no, Abiotic Factor, I mean, to be honest, it looks pretty good. And for 12 quid, I think that's probably one that... where did we get recommended that? Was that on TikTok that we got recommended that?
Yeah, that was on the TikTok Live, yeah.
Oh, okay. One of the viewers on TikTok Live. Interesting. Is this great game relevant to you? Similar games you've played: Rust and Ark.
7 Days to Die.
Yeah, I've got 7 Days to Die as well. Yeah. Rust was a 2014 Raw Link Up when we discovered that on the Thursday. That simply was played for the remaining 72 or whatever hours remaining of the link up. Essentially, that's all we played.
We did Raft 1 year as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
I didn't actually play Raft.
I remember Raft.
Yeah, I didn't participate in Raft either.
Just loads.
But we're only 44 days away, Vedak, and we can play all those games again.
I started getting an itch for Ark again because I watched this guy who was, I can't remember his name. He's doing these videos on YouTube, and it was trying to mimic Civilization. So he had like 500 players on Ark, and they were all told to go and start their own civilizations and then battle each other. It was quite fun. But no, it's just it's just so buggy. I can't be bothered.
I was going to say you weren't sort of contemplating 168 hours at the Raw Link of Ark.
No, I think my Ark is my most played game. I think we looked at that Devastate, didn't we?
Yeah. So not to spoil any upcoming videos that are coming out, but yes, there is some incredibly dedicated hours that have been put into Ark by lots of the Royal Link Up gamers. So keep your eyes peeled for that video coming super soon.
Indeed. Well, Vedak, whilst we've got you here, what are you most looking forward to at this year's Link Up, both games-wise, takeaway-wise, and just generally?
I think just spending time with the boys is great fun. Or takeaway, I'll just go with the flow. And game-wise, obviously a bit of Civ 7. Tempest Rising, I'm looking forward to. Neighborhood Warfare looks fun. So yeah, I'm up for everything.
Maybe some Sins of the Solar Empire 2, perhaps. As well.
Yeah. The problem with that is it's probably going to compete with at the same time as Civ, and it's not going to win.
Well, I mean, we can always. The thing is, we should have the numbers for 2 games, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Because there's certain players who won't play Sins, who will definitely play Civ. In which case, if they're starting a Civ game, I'm
vice
off.
versa.
Yeah. It's basically going to be me and Beefy playing Sins.
It's a bit gutty because I love Sins. I do love a game of Sins, but Civ is.
Yeah, and I would say with Sins, with the new updates, it is. I do like it. I loved the single player missions. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Real good challenges.
Yeah, you are getting very good at that game.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're getting very good at that game. What you need to do is then play Lumpy.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I haven't played it for about 2.5 months now, so I do need to get my gaming training in before the Link Up, and I have 44 days to do it.
Indeed,
Mhm.
44.
I kind of stay away from link up games, to be honest. I'll play them at the link.
Well, I mean, we definitely need to buy a lot that are on deal when they come about, even if we don't play them. I.e., Neighbours Suburban Warfare. We can't get it cheaper on DL Compare. If it's 20% off on Steam, just buy it for £7 before next Tuesday.
How much is it on? Oh yeah, I mean it's £6.26, so you
On DL
might as
Compare.
well buy it on Steam. Where the difference is £1, like you might as well just buy it on Steam.
Yeah. Right. I think we will wrap this week's podcast there. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure as always. We would love it if you would drop a like and a follow and a subscribe, etc. And any comments you've got on what we've talked about or what you'd like us to talk about, please drop that in the comments section either below if you're watching this on YouTube or on TikTok. Make sure you're following all of our social media channels across all the different platforms, as we're going to be posting a lot more often in the run up to the link up. We're 44 days away. We're going to be posting every day, and that'll be from a mixture of me to Devastate to Mass to a bunch of other people. So make sure you're following all of that. Anything else from anyone else?
No, all good.
No, we are wonderful. All right. Well, until next time, I've been the Amazing Sniper Beef.
I've been devastated.
And I've been Mass and Ivry. Tofu.
Yeah, see you later, peeps. Goodbye.
Players.